everyone, this is Puka, and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon Trading Card Game online, and this is going to be Bad Deck Monday. I apologize, this is a day late. I've been a little under the weather recently, as you can hear right there, but hopefully we'll have some fun with this game, and all the videos will get back on track for this week. So, Bad Deck Monday deck here. This is going to be a pretty simple deck. It's going to be Chandelure. So we have Chandelure EX, and I play a Skyla here. You can take a look through the deck, and you can see we have Chandelure. Chandelure, the EX, and Chandelure, the Stage 2. So lots of Chandelures, lots of ghosty, fiery lamp things in this deck. So we'll go ahead and start off with a level ball for a Litwick. Since I'm going first, I cannot attack, so there's no point in even trying to go for an energy attachment. We may as well just go for a Litwick. And then we have the rare candy and Chandelure in hand already, so we could get a Cursed Shadow going here on turn number 2. So you might be wondering, what is the strategy of this deck? And I would say, good question. That's about it. This is just a Chandelure deck. That's it. It's just a gimmick. We're just running all kinds of Chandelures. And that's it. We're just hoping for the best. We're going to see if our wonderful combination of ghost Pokemon can bring us to a victory. That is seriously it. You know, they do have a lot of damage spreading. The Fire Chandelure is actually pretty solid right now. Its attack does 80 for 2, which deals with those Virizion Genesect decks pretty well. But beyond that, we don't really have much of a solid strategy. I am going to use Cursed Shadow, the ability with Chandelure. This card used to be very good. It was reprinted as a shiny Pokemon. This was in Noble Victories. We got it reprinted, so I get to use it still. It used to be really good. There's a Chandelure Vileplume deck that was very strong for a long time a few years ago. Then it was used in a Chandelure Excelgor Vileplume deck that was very good as well. And, you know, since then it has kind of fallen off, since 3 damage counters just isn't what it used to be. But it's still a decent card. Just, it's a Stage 2. Not so good when you're just getting a Stage 2 to place 3 damage counters and it has to be active, but anyway, that's what Bad Deck Monday is for. Alright, so we're going up against a Kyurem Dusknoir deck, it looks like. I have not seen a Deoxys EX. I haven't seen much of anything, so this must revolve around spreading damage with Kyurem's Frost Spear, 30 and 30 to a benched Pokemon. And then you take advantage with Dusknoir to Sinister Hand, put the damage where you need it to go, etc. Alright, so that's the general idea, it would appear. Looks like here I can Cursed Shadow, and I hate Dusknoir. I want to get rid of that thing immediately. So we're going to Curse Shadow and knock out the Duskull. It's a pretty big play. Without Dusknoir, I feel like my opponent's deck is much more intimidating, and I draw Frozen City, which, that's not very useful against a Team Plasma deck. I mean, Frozen City, you take 20 if you attach. I mean, that's the idea for my deck. I want to put more damage on their field. I also run Dusknoir so I can rearrange damage in the future. But we're going to Curse Drop here with Chandelure EX. Place 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. And I'll just go ahead and put all 4 on that benched Kyurem. Now it has 80 HP left. So this can set up for the Fire Chandelure using Inferno, I believe, is the attack, which would knock out the Kyurem straight away. That would be pretty nice. Or just 2 more Curse Drops would be a knockout as well. So Chandelure EX is not the greatest attacker, but it is kind of tricky. It can, you know, finish off Pokemon that are weak and damaged, and it can do some sneaky stuff, like if a Pokemon with a high retreat cost is stuck in the active position, you can go ahead and just knock out your opponent's benched Pokemon. So overall, it's kind of nice. We'll see if we can actually do enough to win a game, though. We have knocked out a Duskull. That's something. We took a prize. But will we be able to deal with the onslaught of Plasma Kyurem? And we also see an Articuno EX. So there is Frost Spear. Gonna do 30 and 32. Another Chandelure EX. And alrighty. I can evolve into the Fire Chandelure here. I'm definitely going to do that. I have the Dusknoir in my hand. I only play a 1-0-1 Dusknoir line in this deck. So we're going to go ahead and see if Duskull's in there. We'll discard the Dusknoir since I'm going to Juniper anyway. And Super Rod is in the deck as well. So we can still get Dusknoir out. I also play good old Rock Guard in this deck. So we're in full Bad Deck Monday force here. We got Rock Guard, we got Chandelures, oh baby, going crazy here. And alright, so we do draw the Rock Guard, alright. That'll be useful. We can pull off some tricks. Now, a lot of people play Tool Scrapper. Well, almost every deck plays Tool Scrapper now. So, my opponent probably plays it, so that's why Rock Guard is generally terrible. But, if my opponent doesn't have one, maybe we can, get a cheap knockout here. So we're going to put 2 on the Kyurem, so that if my opponent attacks with Blizzard Burn, the Rock Guard will deal 6 damage counters, instantly knocking out the Kyurem as well. So basically I'm saying, you know what, if you want to attack me, go for it, right? You will be knocked out as well, and I'm okay with this trade, because then I'll just promote Chandelure and I'll smack whatever else comes up on the following turn. So I like where this is headed. It could also force my opponent into making a weird play, like this one. My opponent decides to rush in with Keldeo EX, and then play an Escape Rope. Does not want to walk into that Rock Guard, and I got to decide who I want to promote here. I'm just going to go with the Cursed Shadow Chandelure, force my opponent to use Blizzard Burn to knock it out, and if he doesn't, I'm okay with that too. I perfectly fine with a Frost Spear there. I can just Cursed Shadow, put some more damage out there. But that's fine too. Chandelure gets knocked out. And now I gotta decide, do I want to promote Chandelure EX with the Rock Guard, continue to spread slowly, or do I want to promote the big old Fire Chandelure, which can do 80 and burn with Inferno? And I'm just going to stick with my Rock Guarder. As long as my opponent doesn't draw a Tool Scrapper, this Rock Guard Chandelure EX is going to be doing some good stuff out there. So let's Skyla for Super Rod, get the Dusknoir back in the deck. And I can Ultra Ball for Dusknoir here. I would have to discard an energy, which means I don't get my attachment for the turn then, which would be a major bummer. But then again, I really don't have anywhere to attach to. Thanks to Frozen City, I don't see myself really powering up a Chandelure EX to use the second attack, which is like Eerie Glow or something like that. So we'll just discard the energy. It only takes 1 to use Curse Drop, so I'm not really worried about it. And alright, let's Rare Candy into the Dusknoir. And now we can start to move damage around with Sinister Hand. Alright, so where do we want to move our damage? The idea here with Dusknoir is I want to spread damage out to minimize the effect of Max Potion. Max Potion, if, say there's like a bazillion damage on a Keldeo, well, my opponent can just play a Max Potion and get rid of it. So we're going to spread the damage out with Dusknoir. And, that way, in one turn, we can just say, alright, I'm going to move 20 from here, 20 from here, 20 from here, and then move it all to one Pokemon and get a knockout. And we don't want to be vulnerable to N, and we want to be able to just knock out threats the second they come down, like this. I don't want that Duskull to survive. Plain and simple, I want that thing out of here. So we'll see what happens on this turn. I also move the damage away from the active Kyurem, so that Rock Guard could potentially deal damage to my opponent. Say my opponent attacks me, that's 6 more damage on my opponent's board, which I can then take advantage of with Dusknoir. So, really this deck probably revolves a lot around Dusknoir. Sinister Hand is a ridiculous ability. One of the best. So maybe I should play more Dusknoir in this deck. I do get hit by Articuno EX's Frost Prison, which does 80 damage and paralyzes me. But my opponent had to retreat in order to do that, discarding all 3 energy on the Plasma Kyurem. That's not good. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch into my Fire Chandelure. I do run a lot of switching cards to take advantage of the other Chandelure's Cursed Shadow. And now, obviously, target number 1 is going to be that Duskull. We want to get rid of that thing. If Dusknoir comes out, I could be in some trouble. I have lots of damage spread out on my Pokemon, and I don't want my opponent to just take advantage of it like what I'm doing right now. So we're going to go ahead and knock out the Duskull, but I have a couple options here since there is so much damage on my opponent's Pokemon. We can actually use Chandelure's first attack, Flame Burst, which does 30 to the active and then 30 to 2 benched Pokemon. So instead of discarding my energy with Inferno, we probably have enough to move a bunch to Articuno, and then we'll put just 20 on Duskull. We can take a 3-prize turn here, which is pretty awesome. And then still keep the energy to use Inferno on the following turn. So I like where this is headed. We're going to go ahead, Sinister Hand away. Go ahead and boom, boom, boom. Move 30 to Articuno. Then we're going to conserve 10 more damage, take 10 off Duskull, put it somewhere else. And alright, this is going to be a big turn here. My opponent doesn't have much energy at all left in play. So now we can use that Flame Burst with Chandelure. Seems like the way to go. And the Chandelures are coming together to form a mighty team of ghost lamp things. There's a Flame Burst, 30, 30, 30. It's not a bad attack. Mr. Mime makes it pretty bad. But otherwise, it's actually pretty solid, other than the fact that it's a Stage 2 Pokemon with 120 HP, which is less than a lot of basics nowadays. But that's besides the point. Kyurem is powered up. Now, my opponent has not played a single Deoxys EX. That would actually hurt quite a bit here if my opponent could get a Deoxys into play. It's a Team Plasma Ball. This Fire Chandelure is weak to water. Only has 80 HP left, so a Deoxys EX would make Frost Spear do 80, and that would be bad news. But we see a Frost Spear for 60, and then 30 to the benched Chandelure as well. So, wow. We actually survived. So now we have a couple options. Option number 1 is just knock out the Kyurem, and then we probably would win it with that route, since my opponent has no energy left in play. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is move all the damage around, and then use Inferno to do a ton of damage to the Kyurem. And then next turn, we can use Dusknoir to move all the damage to the Keldeo EX, and then just Curse Drop or something for the win. So we're going to move damage off of the active Kyurem, since Inferno does burn. We actually don't want the damage to go away by knocking out the Kyurem. We want the damage to stay on board, so that next turn we can pull off our awesome move and knock out the Keldeo. Another option, like I said, would be to knock out the Kyurem, but we're going to go for the fancy play, since it's Bad Deck Monday, and fancy is funner. Fancy is funner. We'll go with that new tagline for Bad Deck Monday. That's a horrible tagline, but whatever. I'm sticking with it. All right. So we'll just start playing some cards down in case of an end. I tried to Skyla for an Ultra Ball to get another Litwick out here, but nowhere to be found. Ultra Ball must be prized. And there we go. Inferno. Ooh. 80 in burn. And we see there's 100 now. So if my opponent flips tails again, it could be 120 for the burn, which is why I moved all the damage away. And now we can see, oh, well, Skyla for Tool Scrapper. My opponent does indeed play that. So, Rock Guard, your days are through. Floatstone, so is yours. But it's probably too little too late at this point. We do see, let's see, I have 160 damage on the opponent's field at this point. That means we can use the long, laborious process of Dusknoir Sinister Hand to move a bunch of damage to Keldeo EX and then Curse Drop for the win. This is equivalent to the victory formation in football. You know, this is just a formality at this point. We're getting up to the line, just got to kneel the ball, and that's it. Clock's going to run out. Keldio's time is up, and we're going to win this game with a Chandelure EX deck. Lots of Chandelures. No idea how this deck actually won the game, but, well, that's Bad Deck Monday for you. I probably say that almost every video. No idea how I won, but we did it. Alright, so 3,000 clicks later, we're going to move damage to the Keldeo EX, and there's now 40 HP left, and we'll just Curse Drop 1, 2, 3, and 4, and goodbye. And Chandelure EX gets the win with Curse Drop, thanks to Chandelure with Cursed Shadow and Chandelure with Inferno. A unlikely trio. And of course, Dusknoir comes in for the win as well. So this was an interesting new deck that I never tried out before. So I figured I'd just try out something a little different. I don't think I've seen anyone play this kind of a deck before, but hope you guys enjoyed. I will definitely have some more videos for you guys soon. Tomorrow is Deck Wizard Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's all I got. Alright, thanks guys for watching. I will have some more videos soon. This is Puka from the Top Cut, and I will see you guys next time.